Hi, Adam the Aussie back. Time for another review. Haven't done one for a while, so I thought I'd better do one. And I guess what prompted me to do one is I found a device over the last 6 or so months that has become my main device. I haven't seen another video review out there for it, so I thought, why not? Let's do one and let you know what I'm using mainly. Still use other devices, of course, but this is what I use, most of the time. And it is the EPM mod. What's an EPM mod, I guess you ask? It's a variable wattage device. Mine runs on a dual 18490 AW batteries, so and they're in a battery pack in there, so it's you don't remove them to charge the device. It's charged externally. It is variable wattage from 2 to 16 watts. Has all your main features: a battery checker, ohm checker, obviously powering up and down, on off. You can dim your light and that sort of stuff for your attempted stealth vaping, I suppose. I guess with a device like this, as you may have noticed, what's missing? There's no screen, so it's not going to be for everyone. It is for me. It's the perfect device for me because, look, if you've watched my reviews in the past, I don't give a stuff about the numbers. I don't care if I'm vaping at 10 watts, 20 watts, 5 watts. I turn it up or down to get the vape I want, and if that happens to be 8 watts or whatever, I'm happy. So that's why I think this device have just clicked and it works. So as I said, look, it's not going to be for everybody. I know a lot of people sort of need to know that information for whatever reason. So and look, can you get that information? Sure you can. It's just not accessible from the click of one button. So I'll quickly run you through the menu and how it works. So to put the device into, before we get into that, I might have a quick vape actually. That's this by Nautilus, which is starting to grow on me. I had a few issues with it early on, but it's starting to grow. So to put the device into menu mode, we click the button. It'll then flash for 3 seconds, and it's giving us the opportunity to make a selection from the available menu. So the first option is pairing the device up, which is one click. So we put in the menu mode, one click. And you'll notice the display ring there changing colour. That's telling us the device is powering up, and we can stop that at any stage by clicking the device. So that then locks in our wattage at that point. To power it back down is the second option menu, which is 2 clicks. 1, 2. And the same thing happens in reverse. It powers back down through the colour cycle to your required wattage. When you buy the device, you get a link to a document which has all the specs of the device, and also has a colour chart which links the wattage to whatever colour the device is displaying. So if you really need to know that information, you can match it up that way, or you can check it through your menu. But look, I've never worried about the colour chart or anything like that. As I said, I just vape to taste, and that seems to work really well for me. The third option on the menu, so 3 presses, powers the device off. It's got a toggle on-off switch on the top, which makes the device extremely pocket friendly. You can switch it off, whack it in your pocket, and know it's not going to fire. What the third option does was, I guess, override that toggle switch and turns the device off regardless of whether that gets flicked, which I guess may come in handy for travelling and that sort of stuff, where that may get flicked open while it's in your bag or something like that, and then it press and fire. So you can shut the whole unit down. That's option 3 in the menu. Option 4, which I won't bother showing you, and all that does is dims the display light there when you press the button to fire it or go through the menu options. So it makes a dimmer maybe handy for attempted stealth vaping at the movies. I don't know, something like that, but it's not a function I've ever used. Option 5 is your battery life indicator. So we'll have a look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 7.7 volts remaining in our two AW18490 batteries in the battery pack. So fully charged, that would show us 8.4 volts. It works its way down to 6.8 volts for the two batteries, and then requires recharging. So obviously the longer flash gives us the full numbers, and then the quick flashes give us the decimal points. So that showed us 7 point whatever it was, 7.6 or 7.7. Option 6 tells us what ohms we're vaping at. So into menu mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm not very good at that, obviously, doing it backwards. Just let me try that one more time. So we're at 8.4 watts on the Nautilus. So that's how you can check your ohms pretty quickly. And the seventh and last option on the menu shows us the ohms of the device, which is attached to the EPM. So we're at 2 ohm device, 2 ohm coil in the Nautilus. So that's how the menu works. Look, I guess if you've used a ProVary and things like that, you'll be used to that style of setup. Obviously, the ProVary has a display screen, but I guess not as easy to navigate as something like a Vamo or something like that with your 3 buttons and that sort of thing, or an MVP or something like that. But look, I got used to the menu system very quickly. And once you get the hang of it, it becomes second nature, because I don't use a lot of it. I don't check my what wattage I'm vaping at very often, and things like that. So it's mainly the power up, power down that I use from the menu system. So yeah, that's the menu. I guess next thing to do is, this is the 18490 version, as we said. It comes in 18650. We'll just do a bit of a size comparison for you, so you get a bit of it. It's sort of hard to tell without seeing it next to something. Here's the ProVary Mini. So it's, I don't know, what's that? Probably 7 or 8 mil shorter than that. Be easier to tell without the tank on top, so we'll do it that way. I guess, yeah, 5 or 6 mil maybe shorter than the ProVary Mini. So it's a good sized device in that regard. It's got a lot of weight to it. You definitely know you've got a decent PV in your hand, and yeah, but look, size wise, it's not a box mod. It's not a tube style. It's sort of in between. It's got that nice oval shape to it that just sits in the hand, and the button it's just easy to find, whether you use your thumb, which I normally do, or flip it around the other way and use your finger. It's just seems to work for me, and the buttons it's just good quality. It's very responsive, and just works. So one of the other popular devices at the moment is the MVP. So size comparison to that, you know, obviously a fair bit shorter than the MVP, and then it's be hard to do, but look, it's probably, I don't know, how do we do that? I guess, yeah, about the same width as the MVP, something like that, and from the bottom you can sort of, you know, it's probably a fraction wider that way. Yeah, so I guess my point is it's it's a nice compact device. It's despite its weight, it's a nice sized device. So look, the build quality is really good. It's up there with all your better quality devices. It's made really well. Made in Australia as well by Eric, and I'll give you some contact details as we get towards the end of the review, which we're not far away from. What I'll do, I've got I've got three of them actually, but I've got this one's attached with a scrape. It's got a 18mm drip tip on the 510 connection. So, but the good news is, if you've got a 22 or 23mm tank, you can use your Pro Vari ring to fill in the gap. So. So I've got about a 1.2 ohm coil on the scrape. I've also got another rebuildable, which I reckon from memory is about a 1 ohm coil. We'll just check that. It's meant to fire down to 1 ohm at full capacity. It's got an 8 amp load limit or something. Don't ask me about all that sort of stuff. It's not my thing. But what have we got here? So 0.94 on this bottom coil rebuildable. So we'll strap that in and see how we go. So what I meant about the Pro Vari ring, so that's it there. So it sits over your 18mm 510 drip well. So you can just plonk that like so, and away you go. If it's making connection. Lucky this rebuildable has an adjustable pin, and we'll get to there we go. So that's firing that 0.94 ohm coil, no worries at all. That, don't know what wattage we're at, but let's find out. $16. I've got it turned up flat out. There you go. There you go. That's a very nice vape. So now, I guess there's good news and bad news. If you think this device may be for you, bad news is this is the version 1 that I'm using, which is no longer in production, unfortunately. The good news is that V2 is not far from becoming available. So what improvements are on the V2 that have been made public? Well, one, to charge this device, it's charged through a supply charger that comes with the kit through the 510 connection. The version 2 will have a dedicated charge point in the top there, so you'll be able to continue to vape while the device is charging. Excuse me. On the charging side of things, this charges from dead flat to fully charged in 55 minutes, which is sensational to charge those two batteries in that short space of time. What other upgrades are going to be on the V2? V1's 2 to 16 watts, V2 is going to be 6 to 34 watts, so you're going to have a lot more power available to you there. It's going to have two, as part of the menu system, your standard voltage mode, which will go from 6 to 20 watts, and then a high voltage mode, which will go from 20 to 34 watts. So you'll have that option there. So if you really want to put your rebuildable devices, up at the higher wattage, you're going to have that option. It's also going to be able to handle sub-ohm coils. How low, I don't know. For some, I've got 0.94 0.5 in my head for some reason, but don't quote me on that. I may have read that somewhere. It may not be right, but I think it'll fire down to 0.5. But as I said, don't quote me. Version 2 will also have an adjustable 510 connection. So in that situation before, if I didn't have an adjustable connection on my atomizer and it didn't make connection, I was in trouble. But with the V2, it'll have a Delrin insulated 510 connection, so no silicon insulator to wear through. It's going to be Delrin, and it's going to be fully adjustable, so which is good. That's about it. What else to tell you? Where to get them? Aussie Vapors Forum. I'll put a link down to the Aussie Vapors Forum down the bottom. It's from Eric, EPM Mods. He's got a thread there. There's a list going for the V2. From my experience in the V1, he made a batch available upon release, and then trickled out the rest. So look, wait times weren't too bad once he was in full production. So I'm expecting that'll be in the next month anyway, that the V2 will be available. That's just my opinion. Nothing to do with I don't know Eric other than having a quick chat to him from from buying these devices. So yeah, look, if you're interested in the device, price wise, the 18490 V1 was around the $230 Australian, and that came with with your charging gear and a car charger. Yeah, so that's the sort of price range. What the V2 will cost, I don't know. We'll find that out upon release. But that's the EPM. Hope you've enjoyed the review. May be able to get back into a few more and let you know what else I've been using. But at the moment, that's all from me. Cheers. Oh, by the way, I'm going to see Springsteen again this Saturday night. That's 3 times in 12 months. You're beauty. Bye.